Hello everybody and welcome back to Young Gamer Plays ETS2 aka Euro Truck Simulator 2 with YG aka Young Gamer.
Hello.
Hello. So today we're looking at this particular mod which is gorgeous, which is the T-Class Scania truck, the long bonneted truck. Yes. Not the cab over engine truck, the long bonneted truck. And this mod is brought to us by... something when I look it up.
RJL.
RJL. No, how did you remember that?
Because RJL's amazing.
Yeah, there's some great. This is a very nice mod. A very nice mod indeed. So I've pimped this one up quite considerably to my liking of pimping, which is lots of chrome.
My liking is lots of paint, no chrome whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you something now about this truck. Okay?
It's very chromy and silver.
It is very chromy. This truck, the T-Class truck, or the T-Series truck as I should say, this was phased out of production by Scania back in October 2005. Which is... Were you born in?
Yeah, I was born...
You were just a couple of months old, weren't you?
Yeah, just 2 months old when they decided to stop this lovely looking truck.
Exactly. And it was the last long bonneted truck around the European roads.
Yeah.
So the reason why trucks don't have long bonnets, this is something that comes up fairly regularly, isn't it? Why in Europe do we use the cab over engine truck, the COE truck? And why in the US do they use the long bonnet truck? Well, in Europe it's very simple. There's in most countries in Europe there's a length limit for heavy goods vehicles, and it's measured from the front of the tractor unit to the back of the trailer. So if you have a long bonnet like that, you are forsaking cargo space, cargo carrying capacity.
Yes.
You've got to have a shorter trailer. So back in the day, back in the early 1900s, when trucks were in their infancy, when these things were not... when they were still only just started building trucks, and bear in mind Scania built their first truck in 1902.
Mm-hmm.
When they first started building these, engines were pretty bad and they required a lot of maintenance, a lot of repair. They were quite labour intensive, so it was very important that mechanics had access to the engine to be able to make the repairs and do the maintenance. Also, safety was a big factor. Obviously, sitting behind the engine meant that if you had a head-on collision, you were more likely to survive.
Because the engine will eat up all the impact.
Exactly. And thirdly, comfort. The fact that you were sitting sort of in between the axles, not on top of the front axle, meant that the ride was a bit more comfortable than had you been sat on top of the first axle. On top of the front axle. However, modern safety standards on modern trucks are such that with crumple zones and with airbags and what do they call them, steering wheels, defying steering wheels, the safety factor is no longer relevant because they are just a COE truck, cab over engine truck, is just as safe as a bonneted truck. Mm-hmm. The ride comfort makes no difference with air suspension. With suspension, the air thing, suspension bit in the driver's seat, it's no longer an issue. It's just as comfortable to drive a cab over engine truck. So really, it was in the 1960s that they started going down the route of having flat-fronted trucks, because it was the 1960s when they introduced the length limits on the trucks. And the reason I said most countries in Europe have a length limit, in fact all countries have a length limit, but for example, I think in Sweden, where the Scania is made, the length limit is 22 metres. But in most of the other countries in Europe, it's 16.5 metres. But of course, Scania are building trucks for the European market, so there's no point in them building a long bonneted truck because it's not going to sell very well. And indeed, in the 1990s, they had sold about 50% less trucks than they had of these trucks than they had in the 1980s, and in the 2000s they'd only sold the equivalent of 2%. So no one was buying these trucks anymore. But they kept making them up until 2005, and there is a reason why they kept making them.
Why?
Do you know what that is?
Nope.
Purely because of what they look like.
Oh.
Yeah, they look so cool, and they look just powerful, and they're different from other trucks. That some haulage companies were buying them purely for the image. They would buy them and they would kind of make them the show truck. So if they wanted to take a truck to a festival, or they wanted to do some advertising,
they'll make it their flagship.
Yeah, they would get this truck out because it looks awesome and people look at it. And indeed, it's in Scania. Apparently in Scania at some point, someone said, look, if a child draws a truck, they always draw it with a bonnet on it. So that's what people think a truck should look like. And this is partly also the reason why in the US they still have long bonnet trucks. It's because that's what people expect of trucks. It's just it's part of the culture.
Huh.
Yeah. So this was if you were wealthy enough as a haulage company that you could afford to have a truck that was a bit of a had a little bit of wasted space, because the engines weren't any more powerful. It wasn't any more powerful truck.
No, it wasn't.
No, because Scania built modular. They had this modular system, which meant that the components for each truck were identical, so they didn't have to build. If they were going to build 10,000 T series trucks, they didn't need to build 10,000 dashboards for it. They would build 100,000 dashboards because they knew that 90,000 of them dashboards would be put in the other style of trucks. Because so the insides and all the bits that make up the truck are almost identical.
It should be
Because they save money, and that was another reason why Scania were able to produce this long bonneted truck well after almost all other European manufacturers had stopped producing it. It's because they could make cost savings because they'd perfected the modular system, the system of building things in modules and then just slapping them all together to make different types of trucks.
Yeah, you could actually do that quite clever, that.
Yeah. So this beast is looking pretty awesome. This is my show truck. This cost me in Euro truck money. This cost me 450,000 euros.
Wow, that's cheap.
Is it?
Quite cheap in this game. I customised a DAF Euro 6 that costed me 1 million.
What did you customise it with?
Absolutely everything I could.
Oh my god. Well, I thought 450,000 was quite a lot. But you can see I've got lots of lights on it. I got some flashing lights on it. It took me ages to put all them lights in the back. And I've got some excellent, awesome fog lights in the front of it. I've got some nice horns on the top. Lots and lots of chrome. We'll have a look in the garage in a minute and have a look see what upgrades you get. All the bits and pieces for the inside, because there's some nice cab varieties as well on this. Not cab varieties. Interior varieties.
Yes.
Lots of different choices. But still, just for looking cool, this is a. There is a company. I forget what they're called, but there is a company that will still build you a T series Scania. I think they probably take another Scania, and then they do a bit of customization. They strap a bonnet on it. But you have to. I mean, it's not Scania that builds it. It's another company that builds it. So you can still, if you really wanted to, you could still get one of these trucks in real life.
Wait, do they take copyright? Do they just put the Scania on it? Pay respect.
I don't know if they actually put the Scania sign on, but I suppose they do put the Scania sign on somewhere because it's still a Scania truck. I mean, they've taken the chassis, the engine, the cab, all the other bits and pieces.
They've got to, really.
Yeah, and because as I mentioned, because Scania is modular, they all it's they'll just take certain bits apart and strap other bits on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, let's go and have a look in the garage. So we are back in the garage, in the truck dealer, and let's take a little look at what you can get. I like the look of it when it's quite a small cab like that. What do you think?
I don't like it.
Well, when it's a little cab.
Yeah, I don't like it when it's a little cab.
All right. So if we want to customize, so this is how much is this thing on its own? Where's the value? Where's the cost?
It's 129,000.
129,000. Okay. Customized configuration. cab-wise, you can get normal spoiler. It was quite good. The Highline spoiler, the top line.
That was really ugly.
Top line extended, which is the one that I chose, and then this thing.
I like that one.
Really?
It makes it look like some kind of beast.
Really, you like that?
Once you put on the big chassis, that thing then looks like a beast.
This is the long line. I wonder if this was for the American market.
I think it is. It looks like it.
Yeah, and the chassis looks a bit daft like that. So you got the 6x2.
Put it on.
You got the 6x2 asterisk 4, which means that there's it's two-wheel drive. Two-wheel drive with the. I learned about this last night and I forgot what it is. Basically, I think it means there's fixed drive wheels or something like that. This is a 6x2 4, which means it's steerable wheels at the back. The 6x2 tag lift, 6x2 4 tag lift, mid lift, 6x4, 8x2. That looks weird, doesn't it? With two tag lift, two tag lifts there. Look. 8x4x4. So that means that there's four. It means there's four drive wheels. Same with that one. That looks ridiculously big, doesn't it?
I like that one.
Do you?
Yep. You can cause some havoc with it.
Oh my giddy aunt.
It's massive.
It is massive.
This is even bigger ones.
Even bigger one, and that's it. That's
Go
the biggest one. That's 10x6. So that's got 6 drive wheels.
Wow.
So 1, 2, probably these 3 here. 1, 2, 3. Anyway, engine size, standard Scania range, the Euro 6. So Euro 6 basically means that meets the latest emissions standards set by the European, whatever it is.
730 horsepower.
730 horsepower. That's a pretty big boy.
Guess what?
That's what I've got in that silver one.
You know the numbers at the bottom of the Scania. They don't have a number for 730 HP. You know, it has little numbers at the bottom of the bonnet. It tells you how much horsepower. It just disappeared.
Oh, did it?
Don't got one.
Where's the other one then?
I don't know. Just there's one there, and I just seen something disappear off the bonnet.
Did you?
Yep.
Let's go back up here to this thing then. See if we can see it reappear. On the bonnet itself, maybe you didn't. Maybe you imagined it. Anyway, a whole range of engines there. Same with the transmissions, an 8-speed all the way down to a 12-speed plus 2. I wonder what that means. 12 plus 2.
2 reverse gears.
2 reverse gears, maybe, you think?
It's 2 reverse gears.
Alright, okay. Interiors. There's quite a choice. There's quite a selection here. Now, what I quite like is you get this 6 Series standard Vabis. Scania. This is old school. This is what trucks used to have type of steering wheels. Scania Vabis. I think Vabis was the Scania started out making bicycles.
What?
In 1900s. They were a manufacturer of British bicycles. The British company got Scania to build bicycles.
Okay.
And then Scania thought, well, what happens if we stick a little motor on these bicycles? And they made motorised bicycles. And then they thought, what happens if we stick 4 wheels on it? And then in 1901, they made a car. And in 1902, they made their first truck. And then, so Scania were making the trucks, but then there was another company, I think it was Vabis, who made rolling stock for trains, carriages for trains. And the two companies merged, and Scania built the truck, and Vabis built I guess they built the load area on the back, just the same as they would if they built rolling stock for trains. Yeah, and Scania were formed in Malmo, and Vabis were in another part of Sweden, and then Scania moved from Malmo to the Vabis offices because they had bigger yards. Anyway, I learned all that yesterday. So that's why that's like a retro style steering wheel right there. But interior wise, quite nice, isn't it?
It's a bit black.
Got a bunk bed.
Yeah,
it is a bit black, but it is a bit black. But that's because it's the standard. Let's have a look now. We've got different types of gauges. So these are new gauges. Let's look at that compared to the original gauges. Oh, wrong side. So there's the original gauges. Not bad. And then the new gauges.
Oh.
Okay. Interesting. You got left-hand drive and right-hand drive. So that's with the old steering wheel. I think the old steering wheel looks a bit daft though, don't you?
Yeah. There's one interior that really suits it as well.
Is there?
There's one interior that really suits it.
That's nice. That's nice. And you'll notice... Well, that's interesting, though, that they still have the engine cover. That is interesting, because the whole point of having a bonneted truck was that you could remove the engine cover. So
I think I know what's happened.
What?
We've got such a long chassis. We're going to need too many drive rods. There's like something like 7 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know what you're talking about at any point?
The little spinny thing in the middle of the vehicle. I decided to add something like 7.
Oh, right.
Like,
what about this interior?
The Vavis wheel goes with that one. That's
Do you think?
Yeah.
You think?
That's
not that one. That there?
Yeah.
You like that?
Yeah, that's what it goes with, more like.
Yeah.
It doesn't go with... Oh, the V8's my favourite Scania.
The V8, the Scania are well known for their V8s.
The V8 interior is so nice looking.
Yeah, the Scania V8 engine is a very well known, and it's how basically Scania built their reputation around the V8 engine.
I love this one. That's
nice, isn't it?
It's really good. Look at the seats. Look at
Oh
them.
yeah, that's nice. I like that. That's very, very contemporary looking.
And look, go on to the Vavis.
Let's have a look with the Vavis.
That ruined a lot.
Oh yeah, no, we don't like that. And what else have we got? We've got the. There is a
Custom.
lot of.
The V8 Custom looks amazing. Look up. I think it's this one here. Yep, it's got the red up there.
Oh, it's got red up there, like red tint.
I love that.
Red upholstery.
That's full on red. It's not
Is it?
tinted. That's
That's red upholstery. That's red material.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Got the side curtains on. The V8 Custom, is that the same but with the V8
Vavis,
wheel? I mean the Vavis wheel.
Let's stay with the V8 Custom because that looks amazing.
That one there. All right, colour wise, there's nothing really deep ocean. There's the standard colours here. Juicy orange.
Juicy.
No, it does not look good.
That doesn't look good either. The spring
no.
green.
Oh no, I don't really like any of them.
Is there any?
That's not too bad.
Is there any
But there's
custom
there's no custom colours.
Colour
Oh, a
one.
custom one, but that's like a blue.
Scania Griffin.
And Scania Griffin. So that's just Scania with a
Half a Griffin on it.
half a Griffin on it. How does that work then? I wonder what's happened
I
there.
thought if you had the big cab, the whole thing gets on it.
But what about if we stuck a accessory wise? What happens if we stuck a?
LED board.
No, I'm looking for the one on the back here. Where's the one that? Maybe it's
Look
this one. Oh yeah. What happens if we put a?
Bank.
Oh, there you go. There's the rest of the Griffin appears once you put the spoiler
Look
on.
how many dots are on the back of the chassis.
Oh yes, no, it's because you can
Customise your drivetrain.
not customize. This thing's too long for me to move around here. They'll do the same thing, but it's basically for in between it's for the wheel arches and down in between. So you can put chrome down there if you wanted to. You see, and for the wheel arches you can put what's this thing? Oh yeah, you can put a side light on. And you can put wheel arches on. So you see, so you can do a lot of customization with it. Inside, not so much customization inside. Not so much customization inside.
You can still do it.
Still do a little bit. What's this? Oh, that's yeah. No, look, they got a mirror. What's the issue with that? What's the problem with that?
You can barely see.
No, bonneted truck. What's
Yeah.
the point of having a mirror?
That's what I mean. You can barely see down.
Exactly, it'd be pointless, wouldn't it? Still, so that's
You can just look out your window and just go, get out the way.
mirror slots. Okay. Oh, I see. Slots for mirrors. Oh, you can put little lights on there as well.
You can make
What's all
your...
this? Deflector.
Ooh, slots for window stickers.
Now I put the chrome deflector on because when you actually drive up the chrome deflector, you see everything. You can see everything reflecting in the chrome.
Ah.
Yeah. So anyway, what do we think of the Scania T series? This thing wasn't. They stopped building this in 2005.
Yeah, when I was born.
Yeah, day you were born. I mean, the year you were born.
Not a day. If it was the exact day, that would have been absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I think it's a really good mod. It's really
Yeah.
detailed and everything. I love that.
And it's the only European bonneted truck that you can get. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. So recommended. Download this mod. A lot of people have already. It's been out for a little while.
It's in the Steam Workshop.
It is in the Steam Workshop, and I don't know which truck it replaces, but it's the second truck. It becomes the second truck.
It replaced the little streamline, the mini streamline.
Driving it, definitely the turning circle was greatly reduced. A couple of times I ran up on the pavement.
So it's a pig truck.
Yeah. So yeah, okay, good. Right. Well, if you like the video, then subscribe or a little like or a what do you call it? Write a comment. Any feedback or anything you want us to see us do in particular?
I remember when I get 100 subscribers, I get my brand new computer.
Yeah, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So punch the subscribe button.
Punch that subscribe button. Punch it as hard as you can. Punch it like you're punching the thing that in the world that you'll find most annoying. Punch it.
Just hear the breaking of glass in the background.
Exactly. All right, until such times, we shall say cheerio.
Cheerio.
Goodbye.
For more Construction Simulator, Spin Tires and Euro Truck Simulator, click one of the 3 boxes up here. And remember to click that subscribe to subscribe.